On page Yud-Bet, he writes, "V'hinei b'shut or letzion." We're talking about whether women can recite blessings on Baruch She'amar and Yishtabach. In the books Or Letzion, that is Rabbi who wrote Or Letzion? Chacham Ben Zion Abba Shaul. Very good. Rosh Yeshiva Poat Yosef. We have a shiur on pizza from him. And I told you off camera that the family who wrote this book very much doesn't like his Piskei Halacha. And you're going to witness it one more time. Hine b'shut Or Letzion. Rav Ben Zion Abba Shaul writes in Or Letzion, כתב, שאף על פי שפסוקי דזמרה, havu mitzvat aseh שהזמן גרמה. Even though פסוקי דזמרה are a time-bound commandment, מכל מקום, nonetheless, נשים רשאות לברך עליהם, ברוך שאמר וישתבח. Women are permitted to say Hashem's name in the blessings, because he told us that Ashkenazi women have who to rely on, Sephardic women don't. Now he's quoting the Or Letzion who says, no, Sephardic women can also say it. Sheklal gadol b'yadenu. There's a big rule in our hands. B'chol birkot hashevach, and all of the blessings that are praise blessings. Not blessings on mitzvot, not blessings on food. Sha'af b'mkom she'enan chova, even in situations where they're not obligatory, mutarot levarech otan lekuli alma. That all would agree that a woman can opt in, not to a blessing of a mitzvah, that's different, but to a blessing of shevach, of praise. A woman can also choose to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu. She might not be obligated, but she can choose to do that. Ayin Sham. Look there. So here you have a Sephardic opinion saying that a woman can recite the blessing of Pesukei Zimra. V'adoni Avi, Mori, Veribi, Maran, Zecher, Tzadik, V'kadosh, Livracha. Who's he referring to? Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, his father. Beshut Yabia Omer. In his shut, Yabia Omer. Chedek Chet. Herich Litchot Dvarav. Spent a lengthy amount of time pushing off the proofs of Rabbi Ben Zion Abba Shaul, refuting them. Shomnam matzanu mi shomer ken behedya. We find someone who says this explicitly. Halahu ban halachot ketanot. There's a halachot gedolot and there's a halachot ketanot. Shekadav, that he writes shebirkot hashevach en mishum beracha levatala. That there is no blessing in vain when we deal with birkot hashevach. There's not a mitzvah blessing, it's something else. V'chen katav od b'chelik bet. Dehecha deika ta'ana k'tzat en nachosh b'virkat hashevach mishum beracha sh'natzicha. He writes in the second volume that anytime there's some sort of reason to bless birkot hashevach, there's really no problem of saying God's name in vain, because by blessings of praise, you can never really say a blessing of praise levatala. Uvesever pachad Yitzchak Katav, he writes, Sha'af halachot ketanot model achmir lechatchila. That even the halachot ketanot would agree that ideally you shouldn't say blessings in vain of praise, only that you can if you do. Viskim ledvarav mahariv kazis b'tshuvato sham, ulam bemet sha'af legabei birkot hashevach. But the truth is that even with blessings of shevach, of praise, Dat Rabbi Mirabotenu Rishonim v'Charonim, the opinion of many of our rabbis, the Rishonim and the Charonim, is sheyesh behen din beracha shena tzaricha. That there is such thing as a blessing that is not required, and blessings that are not required are essentially levatala. There's such blessings in vain. If you eat a carrot, yes, and you say ha'adama on the carrot, and then you take another carrot right away, and you want to eat it again, so you say another bracha. Is that blessing a bracha levatala? Did you make a blessing on eating ha'adama? Yes. That blessing, though, was called a beracha she'ena tzaricha, a blessing which is not necessary. The second one. A blessing which is not necessary is a type of blessing, levatala. But it's not exactly the definition of levatala. Is you just say a blessing on a carrot and walk down the street. Yeah, my girls who practice all the Baruch HaShems. Right. Now, is there really a difference? So the mind of Kaminat really doesn't. I'm not telling you there's much of a difference, just to be precise. וכן מתבאר בין דברי אורחות חיים, if you look in the writers of אורחות חיים, והכל בו, שאף בברכות שבהן שבח והודאה, יש בין איסור משום ברכה לבטלה. even blessings of praise and thanksgiving have the ability to become blessings in vain. The top of Yud Gimel. V'sheken ita b'Yerushalmi, and they write that that's the opinion of the Talmud Yerushalmi. Ayin Sham. V'af Ravad Shuva Sham, even the Ravad that is quoted there, She'itir li'inyan yechid b'Virkat Yalucha Shachar HaHalel. Are you familiar with this sugya here? Can an individual recite the blessing on the Halel, a Yechid? Especially Birkat Halelucha. Does it require a minyan or not? The last blessing of the Halel. The Ravad writes that an individual, a Yechid, without a minyan, can say the blessing Halelucha. Mipnei she'ena ela hoda'a ba'alma, because it's just a blessing of praise. There's a similar argument regarding the blessing after the reading of the Megillah. If you need 10 people there, or if any person could just praise Hashem. This is a conversation. Yesh lomar, you should say, that only applies to the blessing of Halelucha, not to all blessings of Shevach, that if you're alone you can say them. Shamu b'Gemara, because our rabbi is saying, Masechet Ta'anit, page 28b, Yechid lo yatchid b'vracha. An individual should not begin to say Halel on their own, with a blessing. Vim hitil yatchid b'vracha, but if you, by accident, said a bracha, gomer ha-bracha, you finish the bracha. Usvir alei la-Ravad, and it is the opinion of the Ravad, דכיוון שהציבור מברכים לאחריו אף לכתחילה, אף יחיד יכול להקל בדיעבד, כיוון שהיא שבח בעלמא. That applies in the community, the individual can do it as well. Because it's just a blessing of praise. אבל במקום שיש ספק לגבי עצם הברכה, but in a situation where we're not sure about the essence of the blessing, אף הרעב"ד יודע שאין לברך. Even the Ravad would agree that one should not say the blessing. אולם מדברי הראש, but from the words of the Rosh, בתירוצו השני משמע שכל ברכה שאין בה וציוונו, רשעות אנשים לברך. The Rosh seems to imply that every blessing that doesn't have the word v'tzivanu means it's not a mitzvah blessing, means a woman is allowed to recite that. It does not have v'tzivanu. אבל לפי תירוצו הראשון של הראש מבואר של חילוק בזה. That's the second answer. In the first answer, the Rosh doesn't seem to imply that. ובשו"ת הריבה, in the שו"ת הריבה, he writes שהמשך דברי הראש נראה שסובר כתירוץ הראשון. That it seems like the Rosh, from the continuation of what he says, really believes that his first answer is correct and not the second one, which would allow women to say brachot that don't have the word v'tzivanu. That's also regarding blessings of nisu'in. What are the blessings of nisu'in? The Sheva brachot, yes? Yes? Even though they are only blessings of Shevach, nonetheless, Katav HaMagid Mishneh, the Magid Mishneh writes, that a woman should not recite those blessings out of doubt, meaning maybe they're not. I know a Talmid Chacham, by his weddings, women recite the Sheva Brachot. It doesn't happen by my weddings. But I've seen it, and he clearly doesn't accept this ruling of the Magid Mishneh. We find this in a number of places. No. We find this in a number of other places by the writings of the Charonim. That by some Birkot HaShevach, there's an argument about whether to bless. You find that our Chachamim tell you not to say the blessing, because when in doubt, you don't say the blessing. Meaning, there are other situations, even by a man, where we're not sure if you should say this blessing of praise or not, and our rabbis say, no, don't say it. Meaning that there is the idea of bracha levatala by Birkot HaShevach. Even though the Old Etzion says not, nonetheless, it doesn't actually look that way when you look at other poskim. He's going to read to us a little bit more, and B'ezrat Hashem, tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to try to finish this entire teshuvah together with you. But to summarize what happened tonight, and that is that there is a machloket. Oh, Letzion tells you that Birkot HaShevach in general don't have a concept of bracha levatala, and a woman can say them if she wants to say them. And he's trying to show you, no, there are other places where you find that there is a concept of bracha levatala by blessings of praise, and that would therefore say that women would not be able to recite these blessings, at least not according to Chachmei Sfarad. We will continue this, B'ezrat Hashem, on Monday night. Yes?